tell me a little bit about what Jessie's Place is and what your mission in Citrus County.
Jessie's Place is a child advocacy center. The basic concept is that we bring all of the services that an abused child would need into one child-friendly facility. We have several agencies co-located here, including the Sheriff's Office, the University of Florida Child Protection Team, and then of course Jessie's Place staff, which are our therapists.
What are some of the services that you provide when you see a child come in?
Children will be referred to Jessie's Place through law enforcement or DCF. Typically their first services are going to be a forensic interview, which is done by the University of Florida's Child Protection Team. We also do forensic medical exams here. We don't do diagnoses or treatment rather, but we do provide specialized exams for the kids. And we also have therapy and advocacy services that the children receive here.
And why is it named Jessie's Place?
Jessie's Place came from, it was very much a grassroots effort. There was a group of people in the community that worked these cases, worked with these kids, and knew that there was a better way to do things. And then when Jessica Lunsford's case happened, we were all very impacted, obviously, as everybody in this community was. And so we decided to name it Jessie's Place in honor of her.
And what is the average amount of children that you see per month, would you say?
Per month, in therapy, we have roughly 30 to 35 children per month enrolled in our therapy program. We've seen probably close to 160 children since the beginning of the year in therapy. As far as children coming in for forensic interviews, kind of starting with CPT, we saw over 400 children come through our doors last year.
And if you could say that there's a normal case that you see a lot of, what would you say that would be?
Most of the cases that are referred to us are your more severe cases. The majority of our children are victims of sexual abuse. I would say probably secondary is physical abuse, followed by severe neglect, exposure to domestic violence.
And once they leave, or I say graduate from Jessie's Place, or do they ever graduate from Jessie's Place? What is life like?
Well, Jessie's Place is kind of the starting point in the system, so we could start here. And again, the concept is that we provide all of the services in one facility that's designed just for them. So they may start here with their interview, they may get their medical exam, then they come here and meet with the advocate, they start into therapy, so they see the therapist. And we're not intended to be long-term involvement. We're crisis intervention, we're trauma-focused in our therapy. But understanding that you can't always fix everything in 6 weeks. So we don't have a time limit. And so some kids may be with us for a short amount of time, and then we have some who are with us for quite a long period of time. And some may stop and come back, especially if they're involved in the criminal justice system. We can kind of get them to a really stable point, and then as the prosecution proceeds and maybe trial come up for deposition, the child's kind of re-triggered or re-traumatized, and they'll come back. So it's very fluid.
Have you ever, I'm sure you have you ever went home and thought about a child, what you just, they touch your heart?
Sure.
What is that case like?
Well, I've actually been working in victim services for about 13 years, so it's really hard to pick out individual cases. Of course, my history is working at the Sheriff's Office, and I did work on Jessie's case, and obviously that is very, very personal to me. I'm very close with her family, so it's difficult. Of course, you're gonna take it home to some extent, but you have to be able to separate yourself a little bit to continue to be effective.
Do you believe that Citrus County is doing all they can to protect their children?
I think Citrus County does an awesome job. I really do, and of course I will. I'm supportive of the Sheriff's Office and always will be. But I work with the detectives that work those cases. I know their heart and soul. I know the effort that they put into it, and I think we do a great job. Does that mean that we can never do better? We can always do better. If there are children still being abused, then that means we can always do better.
And I'm your next door neighbor, and I see a child being abused. What do I do?
Well, if you see a child being abused right then, call 911. If you have suspicions that a child is being abused or not taken care of, you can certainly call the 800 hotline. It's 1-800-96-ABUSE. It's not your job to prove it. It's not your job to gather all the evidence to be able to prove your case or your suspicions. It's your job to look out for children.
And tell me about your new location. You have a new location opening.
We do. Some very exciting news. The county voted in July to give us a new building. We're going to be leasing from them the old senior center there in La Quinto. It housed the county maintenance for quite a while. But we currently have contractors, Daly and Zilch, who are working to do our renovations. So we're hoping to be moving in around the 1st of November, and we're thrilled.
Great. And tell me a little bit about your staff and about how many you have and what they do and what their thoughts are for children.
We don't have a very big staff at all. I'm the executive director of Jessie's Place, and then we have 2 therapists. And that's the extent of our staff. Again, we have several agencies co-located, and in our new building we're going to add a child protective investigator from DCF. She's also going to be co-located with us, so we're really just kind of continuing to expand on that team concept and that coordinated effort to respond to these cases.
In what ways can someone help?
We have volunteers. We love our volunteers. We have volunteers that come and do some clerical duties for us. We have volunteers that come and hang out with the kids, kind of be there in the lobby, so we certainly appreciate and utilize volunteer hours. And financially, Jessie's Place is not supported by tax dollars. We are community funded, so financial donations mean an awful lot to us.
And is there anything else that you want to tell Citrus County about Jessie's Place?
I want the county to know what a good job that we do. Obviously, I'm very proud of my agency. I'm proud of what we've done, and I'm proud of the work that we do for kids. But I really want the community to know. When we get into the new building, we're going to have an open house, and I really want the community to come out and see what we do, see the building that they've given us as community members, and see what we've done with it, and see the services we provide. I want them to be informed about the difference that we make in kids' lives. I ask for their support. I ask for them to donate, so I want them to understand what their donations go to and how much benefit they give to the kids that way.
Great. Thank you so much, Melissa.
Thank you.